Skip frames detected.
It's magic.
Well, if I wasn't running this on a 980 Ti with 2 broken fans and a prayer, bubblegum, keeping
I got
fans
another
on.
one. All right.
Well, I'll come grab it, and I'll put 2 of them in there. Hey, so this is us, Freelancer Codex podcast on episode 75. And it's an exciting episode, the most exciting episode, if you are. Are you guys ready to do this? We'll hit the record button. We'll do all this fancy stuff that we do, and then we'll just jump right into it. You guys good? JD, Mike, you had a chance to look over all the show notes? Alterian X says, oh, my eyes.
Again?
Again with the eyes?
Again with the eyes joke?
No, you're just assuming that he's saying because you have, you know...
Just talking about my forehead.
Could be Devon's head. Devon has like a 12 head.
But really, what's it about?
What's what about?
My forehead's been this large.
You are so freaking sensitive that no one's even talking about it, and you're taking offense.
How do you unfriend people?
It's just
on
some hair,
Origin,
right, Mike?
How do you unfriend people? Where's his name?
I don't know if you can do that.
No, I'm gonna.
All right, you do it. You do you, Mike.
They don't let you unfriend people on Origin.
That's
Once you
All right,
friend
so,
someone,
so
you're
you
friends
guys
forever.
you guys looked at this. We can go ahead and start the show and get this over with. Alterian says it was a joke, Mike. A joke. Now he's afraid. Mike's just kind of. I think Mike plays a bit. He just kind of does this. It's his like defense mechanism against it. So don't even worry about Mike. JD, I think, is frozen, or he's
Seriously?
just honest.
He's
No, I
alive,
think
he's
he's
moving.
there.
Don't
just
worry.
like-
Don't worry about Mike.
Yeah. Should we worry about you?
I guess
we
not.
can. We can worry about you.
I
if
guess
you
it
want.
doesn't matter if you worry about Mike or not. You'll just
I mean, we
do
can worry.
whatever.
How about we start the show? How about that? You guys good with that?
Sounds like a great idea.
Yes, I'm all right.
I was worried about it for a second, but now I'm glad that you're right. All right, I'm going to need silence for a couple seconds.
Then stop talking.
I hate that every time I hit the freaking record button. I'm going to do that over again and will not say anything. Okay, here we go. Silence starting now. Honestly, like whoever's... Okay, I'm just going to do it.
Welcome to the weekly episode of the Freelancer Codex podcast. Your host, Steven, and co-hosts Mike, Devon, and are all... Join us and tweet your questions at Freelancer Codex. Find us on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or send emails to freelancercodex@gmail.com. Strap into your javelins, and let's drop in.
Welcome, freelancers, to episode 75 of the Freelancer Codex podcast, the longest running Anthem podcast on the internet or in the universe or in wherever else. It's probably the longest running Anthem podcast on Mars. Can you send like files to Mars for the rover to listen to? No, the rover just died, didn't it?
Not just. It's been dead for about a week.
Oh,
We'd
well, that's kinda
like
sad.
to take this moment to offer a moment of silence for the robots who inhabit the planet of Mars.
It is the only planet that is completely habitated by robots. That's kind of
False.
cool, I guess.
I guess
Oh,
the
really?
moon isn't. Yeah, I guess, but I had to backtrack because the moon isn't a planet, but celestial body. If you say
There you
celestial
go.
body,
Well, that's
didn't
exciting.
didn't we shoot a probe into Uranus?
This is like the one chance you have. I don't know if you just have these jokes prepared or stored back in your mind, but I'm impressed, nonetheless, that you were able to pull that one out. So, congratulations.
But not unlike the probe that we sent to Uranus.
I'm just gonna continue on, guys. Did you know that it has been 13 days since Anthem launched in early access? Now,
How many days?
It's been 13 days since we were able to play it on PC. Now, I'm really confused. Are we saying that the game actually launched, or was it early access?
Early
13 days
access.
ago?
The game launched
Early
on the
access.
22nd.
So the grand opening was July 3rd.
So all the devs are saying that worldwide opening was 6 days ago. So I mean, it's been 6 days since a lot of people have gotten the game. So that's been pretty exciting. So I want to know, in those 13 days for the PC players, JD, you've had it for 6 days. Like, what are the builds that you guys have been able to build in that time frame? Devon, we'll start with you. So what builds have you gotten?
So I had a build for every javelin, but in the sake of science, I deleted everything except for my interceptor today. Because we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I deleted
Because
everything.
Your kids got a
except for
hold
my
of the
main.
controller, huh?
No, actually, it
For
was-
the sake of science.
I'll tell you why a little bit later. We'll talk about it later in the podcast. But so I run an interceptor main. So I am at 494 power level right now. It's a masterwork interceptor. I have 2 legendary weapons: the Avenging Herald, Death from Above. To use a masterwork assault system called the Viper's Bite, which is acid. It helps with my ultimate charging, so whenever I use it, it charges my ultimate by 700%.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's really not. I mean, it's good, but it moves at like maybe a quarter of an inch. So it sounds like a lot, but it's. Then I'm also using Bitter
So wait a
Harvest.
second. Your recharge rate is 700. It
Yeah,
upgrades
so
by
it
700%.
ups it for a short amount of time, so it fills up.
Okay, gotcha.
So, then
Hold on, Devon, real quick, Devon. It's getting really poppy, so I'm gonna pause this for a second.
okay.
Yeah, just because you were cutting out here, so I don't know what to do to fix it. I'm gonna change this to the south and see if that clears it up.
Server.
I don't know if that.
See you guys again.
All right, so we will see if that changes anything. How about that?
Yeah.
It could really just be that I need to stop streaming, but we have to go with it. So is everything looking good for chat? Everything going good, or you guys getting all this? Chat's on a delay, so. All right, so I think we will continue here. So, all right, we're back. So, Devon, will you go ahead and continue telling us what you were telling us?
Okay, I'll start back at my assault system. So, I went over the 2 weapons, my 2 legendary weapons. I'm using one I actually just got today after the new update. This evening, I got a legendary, doing a legendary contract called Bitter Harvest. It's does the cluster mines, but so the good thing about this, it gives my gear plus 225% damage. So,
Is that what type of damage is that? Like impact damage, elemental damage?
just says damage.
Oh, so it's just straight damage then.
Just straight plus 225% damage.
Okay.
So there's no like time or anything, so it's always on doing more damage. So like my Viper's Bite, which is one of my gear pieces, went from doing like 7,000 damage, or there's a little under that, but it's doing in the teens now. So
Oh wow.
it does some pretty good damage. But this gives it an extra charge, and then each one of those mines, when it goes off, is like 16,000 damage. Pretty good.
I always thought when like they first started talking about the interceptor, I think that the wordage that they used was it's kind of a get in, hit hard, and then get out. But it doesn't seem like any of the interceptors that I've played with ever get out. They just stay in, they do damage.
Yeah.
It's like they can tank so much damage, and I'm very
And then
impressed.
they get shot and they go down, so you have to go in and get them.
You know,
That doesn't
and
happen too often to me, right?
and this might just be like a storm problem, but every time I'm the storm, I really have to focus on when I go to pick someone up and repair them, because you're always worried about getting shot, because the storm can get one shot by like a bug just out there. But when I see like the Colossus and the Interceptor just kind of like pick me up, getting shot from all these different angles, and they're just like, oh, whatever, I guess I'm getting shot. I'm like, oh, kind of jealous that you can just stand there and take all this damage. But whatever.
We do have a lot of components that I have on both of mine. I have components that boost my health and my shield, and a lot of them do have like plus 30%, plus 40%. And then if I kill anybody, it gives me instantly 20% health back or 35% armor and stuff like that. So, but that's for melee. So it's kind of a mixed bag build right now because none of it was streamlined or focused. But I'll talk more about that later in segment.
Okay, JD, you want to tell us what your the favorite gear pieces that you're running currently?
So I'll do my best to remember their names off the top of my head, but I only hit level 30 yesterday, and I think I accrued 4 masterworks today, and I got like 3 or 4 yesterday. I have that Mark of Yevgenia marksman rifle. Basically gives you a 30% chance of lightning, and it also boosts like machine pistol stuff. So I was like, okay, this is awesome for my storm. I got the Chaotic Rhine Frost Shard Focus Seal. And then I got a couple of, I've gotten, I think, 3 Masterwork components. And I actually got a duplicate of one, and I salvaged it. Because the stats were exactly the same as well, which is weird. But right now I'm running the Storm with the basically Chaotic Rhine, Ice Shards, and Lightning Bolt combo. I just got a Masterwork Flame Burst that I haven't worked into my build yet, but I'm not a huge fan of the Frost Shards. I'm also using it because of the Masterwork part, but I like the Burning Orb and like Ice Explosion combo. Like I prefer that combo to the Ice Shards and Lightning, but it's
that seems to be the most popular build that I see. That's the one I'm currently using. So I got the Masterwork for the Blast Orb, 10,000 Suns, and then I also have the Blast Seal. It's called Winter. I think the legendary is called Winter's Wrath. So, I mean, that you can freeze turrets with one shot on those. So you can prime tons of stuff. And that's a really good build because it provides a lot of damage and a lot of crowd control. But it seems too good compared to everything else. JD, I don't know if you're seeing that you would, anytime you're running something else, you're like, oh, I'd rather be running Blast Orb with this AoE because it seems that much more powerful than every other ability that there is.
I think the thing is that like the Blast Shards go a little bit too fast. The fact that not the Blast Orbs, the Frost Shards go a little bit too fast. The Burning Orb that I was using, at least, whenever I use it, like the whole thing is that it has an AoE if you charge it up. There's no point to just like popping them off like you can. There's no point to it. So you charge them all up, which means that you're very selective. It's very good for crowd control. And then the same thing with the Ice Blast is that like you can get a lot of the enemies that are unshielded at any level, frozen and primed for a combo, no matter how far away you are. And you have like 3 of those before you have to like have the entire thing like recharge and reset. So there's a lot of advantages to using it as opposed to the Frost Shards, which don't really do much damage, as opposed to the little. I mean, the Glacial Explosions don't really do much damage either. But I mean, there's 3 of them, and they're very good at priming, as opposed to like needing like 4 or 5 shards to like freeze one guy.
Right, and I've actually found with the Blast Orb that firing them off, when you get the Masterwork Blast Orb, there's advantages to doing that, to hitting them more often, because then damage starts stacking. So, but having the utility is really nice, and I think that's probably why it's the best ability, because you can choose to prime it for an AoE if they're really close together, or if you're up against a single target, you can fire those off pretty rapidly, and it helps a lot. But the Frost Shards that I was using were actually infinite, so I use that a lot, and you can just freeze everything for days because there's some weird bug that makes it so that does go infinite.
Yeah.
But then as you're playing with it,
I had that
firing
same bug.
Yeah, and the problem is you'll be firing infinite shards for a really long time, and then all of a sudden the bug will stop, and you're like, hey, why am I on cooldown? This is kind of messing me up. But I mean, there's a lot of it's really fun, and I think the blast orb and the ice AoE is a little too powerful compared to everything else, but that'll change probably when we see a lot of the legendaries and a lot of the other masterworks. Mike, what are you running on your ranger?
All right, I am running a masterwork ranger.
And are you running it right now as we speak?
I'm not running it right now. I'm full disclosure, I'm in the forge looking at everything because I want to get everything right. Like I'm just reading names and stuff.
Then you're gonna go into the stronghold.
I'm not, because I'm not that guy.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna start with the weapons that I have. I have the Thunderbolt of Yavena. And it is like JD was saying. Upgraded Scout Basic Semi-Auto Rifle has a 33% chance to deal large electric damage. And I have inscriptions for ice damage, for overall damage, for weapon ammo, and for LMG damage on the Scout.
Pre-patch weapon?
It is pre-patch. I haven't gotten anything. I've gotten 2 Masterworks post-patch, and they've been for the Interceptor that I'm trying to build. So I have a pre-patch Truth of Tarsus, which is the upgraded Devastator sniper rifle that does a whole lot of damage.
Does it do all the damage?
It does a lot of damage. Lots of damage. And it has armor. It has an armor inscription, an autocannon inscription, a grenade launcher inscription, and a heavy pistol inscription. Again, pre-patch.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you got that post-patch, that would be pretty disappointing.
Yes, that's pre-patch. My assault launcher is Argo's Mace, legendary. One of the legendaries that I have is the upgraded blast missile. Missile explodes on impact, detonates an electric explosion when defeating an enemy. It's got weapon plus, Steve loves this, weapon plus 175% blast damage. So Steve, how would you read that then? Like, how would you want that read?
I think inscriptions should say blast damage plus 100%. Instead of having this percentage stuff in the middle of these inscriptions, it just reads really, really weird. I mean, put it before, put it after. I mean, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel on stuff like this. I mean, Diablo has a great system that you could just carry over and it reads fine. So the way they built the system is just different from what I'm used to, I guess. And I think it needs to change, but we can talk about inscriptions later. You keep going and telling us what
So that is a gear inscription. And I have 3 javelin inscriptions on this, which is a support inscription, a harvest bonus inscription, and then a marksman's rifle plus 10% damage inscription. And that's the legendary Argo's Mace on my assault launcher. My components, I have a legendary component called Combined Arms, which increases my grenade damage by 5%. And then defeating an enemy with gear increases gear damage by 60%. For 5 seconds, with a support inscription and a pickup radius inscription. I have the Badge of Devastation Masterworks component, the defensive bolt.
You can go through all of them if you want. Do you feel like you need to go through all of them?
I've got the defensive bulwark masterwork component, the tip of the spear.
How about just the 5 things that show on your front page?
The Vanguard Badge Masterworks component and the Victor's Resolve Masterworks component. And then muster point for the support gear because we don't have anything higher than
Epic.
What's it called? Epic for support gear, and that's game wide. So, and then my grenade is a frost grenade called the Cold. It's called Cold Blooded. It is a primer. The Argo's Mace is a detonator. And then my shock mace is a primer also, and it's pretty fun because I've got it timed out pretty good that I can run in, fly in, smack an opponent with my shock mace, and then as I'm jumping back, it's cool for me. I double jump out and I'm like flying backwards, and then I like tank missile him like Iron Man did in the first one, and I shoot it's got an AOE effect. And if I time it right and if I use my grenade right, it's pretty awesome, and I feel pretty good about it. So it's a pretty good build. I like it a lot. It's the way that I play, I am starting to use my gear more and then having to rely on my weapons. So, and I've got some pretty sweet gear cooldowns. It seems like I can, if I switch back and forth between the two bumpers, I time it really well, and I can launch a grenade, freeze them, and then as I'm jumping back, my timer will update for my mace, and I can shoot my missile at them, and it's just a good system. And in between those, I get to use my marksman rifle to land some hits, and so it's really fun playing as the ranger. So, and I enjoy it a lot.
I think that's interesting that you talk about, the gear, using the gear more often, because as I'm playing also, I find that I use the gear almost 90% of the time. I do have a masterwork weapon that wants me to shoot at least 20 times to get elemental stacks on it. I forget, it's called Elemental Rage or something, whatever it is. I'm still really bad with the names of all the weapons, just because right now you just kind of equip what you get. You're not really, like, for the point that I'm at now, building out my javelin, it's whatever I get, I'm going to equip, because that's going to increase my level so I can do the harder stuff. I don't have enough variety right now to like pick and choose what I want. So with this gun, it provides 5% every time you land a shot on an elite enemy, and that stacks up to 20. So that gives you like an extra 100% elemental damage, which is mainly what the storm wants to do. And I always feel like, okay, I have to stop using my gear pieces because I want this 100% stack. So now let me go shoot something. Okay, I got the stack. I've got 8 seconds before I have to shoot again. And it's kind of a weird system. I don't know if maybe it's just the build that I have that I don't like that very much, that I kind of have to break my rotation to actually start shooting things with my gun. But it's just kind of an interesting system. I mean, like, getting the components that are masterworks are huge boosts to your power level. I think there's too big of a boost going from, say, you start out with all your white gear, then you get your green gear, then you get your blue gear and purple gear. Those seem like really easy transitions to go from that power level. But once you go to masterwork, it seems like a huge jump. And I don't know if you guys feel that also when you were leveling up, but it just feels like a huge range going from being an epic javelin to being a masterwork javelin. I don't know if you guys felt that. Devon, did you feel anything like that, or was it just kind of natural progression into masterwork?
I think it was actually shorter in point wise to go from epic to masterwork, because it seemed like you'd have to go like over 100 levels, but it was quick to easily gain those levels in the beginning. So maybe for me, maybe that's why it feels like it's larger gap, but I think number wise it's actually a smaller gap to go from an epic, which I think you go to epic at what, 398, something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then so masterwork is at like 480. Yeah.
But like going power level wise, I guess I'm saying, like, once you hit those masterworks, it's like, okay, all of a sudden,
so
now with 2 masterwork components, now I can do Grandmaster 1. Whereas if you're all purples, it's really tough to do Grandmaster 1.
It's all the additional, inscriptions and bonuses you get. So I haven't really seen any masterworks that don't. I haven't seen any masterworks that don't have the orange text, which I thought they were going to have those in there, right? Like,
I think that's what they said, but if they're not in there, I'm not going to complain. And remind them.
I haven't seen any, which is like maybe they last minute choice. They're like, okay, people don't really like that idea, so let's not do that. Which is fine for me. My biggest problem, like when I started for a long time, was I got a ton of weapons. Even after I switched from hard to Grandmaster 1, I would continue to get masterwork weapons, and so I have close to 20 different masterworks, and then several. I think I have 3 legendary weapons, so I have a ton of weapons, but I can only use 2. That's kind of tough for me. That was my biggest problem when I was going from epic to masterwork, was just not getting the drops for the other areas.
Right. All right. Well, I think that was our get to know you introduction. And I think we went a little long on that one. So let's jump into the beginning of the show. So first off, if you have any feedback, comments, questions you want to write in, you can do that at freelancercodex@gmail.com, or you can call us and leave us a voice message at 386-7917. You can do that. That's just dial 1 if you're not inside the United States. But we also have a giveaway to take care of. We did another card/dice box Anthem feature. We put that out. People had to follow and retweet in order to enter that contest. So now we are going to select the winner of that. So I am going to need a drum roll, please, and then we will pick this winner. Hopefully they followed us and did everything that we need to. All right, here we go. So before I say the name, I have to make sure that this person actually followed us. Okay. So this person, Rooster12G, is the winner. They won this box. We will contact them and send it out to them. So congratulations to Rooster12G.
Congratulations, Rooster.
I'm barely like on 5G
Rooster.
still. And like Rooster's already on 12G, which is pretty impressive. I mean, if we can get that type of internet connection, that we probably wouldn't have a lot of the
issues.
I know. So let's get Discord on 12G. So congratulations, Rooster12G. This person is actually in the United States. So I'm not going to, pay an arm and a leg for shipping on it. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So real quick, one thing I would like to talk about. That's what I care about anyway. You guys don't care because you don't have to pay for all the stuff I do. I'm just kidding. Okay. So one thing that I did that we haven't really talked about. So there's apparel for Anthem that you can go over and buy at jinx.com. Jinx has been doing video game stuff since I can remember. So I picked up a hoodie and I went to this store and I was like, man, you know what's cool? I can go to jinx.com. I can select this hoodie. It's here all the time. Like I can see everything that they offer and I can just pick this thing and I can buy it. There's even like a sales section to where if things are discounted, you can go over there and you can pick things that are on discount and you can go buy it. So I decided, hey, I'm going to buy this hoodie because it's here, it's available to me, and I don't have to wait for it. And the cosmetic store in Anthem is not like that. So the cosmetic store, and this was
pretty hard, are you?
It's kind of frustrating to me. So, and
you hide it well.
I wanted to explain like one of the reasons why this was kind of a big issue to me. So when Anthem released for early access, I'm going to air quotes early access because everyone on PC, Origin Access Premier, we had access to that. Early access. Okay. Had a bunch of issues, had its bugs, whatever. But all the outlets reviewed the game off of that early access, right? As if the game was out. Didn't really take into consideration a lot of the day one patches that were going to come out. So in my mind, if people like, IGN, if these people were going to review the game based on this first week, we got 2 rotations of the cosmetic store that we were able to see. And I think a lot of things that some people don't realize, like people that got an Xbox or PlayStation after that, the first rotation was actually going to be 10 days long. And a lot of us that were playing gave some feedback that, 10 days is way too long.
Ridiculous.
To not rotate this. Like, only having access to a Ranger armor pack and a Colossus armor pack is way too long. So we provided feedback and they changed it down to 4 days. And that's fine. I was excited that they changed it. They listened. But on the 22nd, when the official game released, we went back to that first rotation, which kind of like, this is the part that, and this could just be a me thing. I was really excited about the cosmetic aspect of Anthem, just being able to picture all the things that they can do because the cosmetics aren't tied to power level, so they could do whatever they wanted, really. So that really excited me. So seeing the first rotation, I got pretty bummed out. I could understand why they did it. I don't even know if it was like a decision that someone made or if that was just the rotation that was going to happen no matter what. Like once they hit the red button, these were the cosmetics that were going to pop up. So when the last rotation happened, we got the second repeat with the Interceptor and Storm. So I was pretty upset. So I was like, hey, we've been waiting for this, and especially like the people that have been playing for hundreds of hours, like we still look the same that we did, like other than changing colors. Like you can go into the mission end screen and you could guess like what everyone's going to look like, right? Like all the Storms look pretty much the same. All the Interceptors look pretty much the same. And that sucks because we've been playing the game for 50 plus hours. Devon, I don't know how long you've logged in already. Probably like close to 100 hours.
Yeah, it's about 115.
So it's pretty frustrating, especially because, you know what, and I'm really surprised that this hasn't been a headline that, Anthem's cosmetics are lackluster. They've had to rotate in the first 2 weeks. I'm surprised that headline isn't out there. And I was kind of worried it would be And I think that was one of the reasons why I was frustrated. It's like, guys, just prevent this. Like, I understand that people say that if you got in on the 22nd, that you want a chance to get that old stuff, but you're going to get a chance in the future because eventually it's going to rotate. So it's not like you're missing out on it. So to release something new that everyone hasn't seen, I thought that was a better idea. But I mean, after tomorrow, it's all going to be in the past, so it's not really going to matter.
Hopefully.
Unless, I mean, if they rotate one more time, I'm going to flip my computer and I'm just going to lose it.
I mean,
but
You going to break your graphics card?
You shut up.
It doesn't really help that the the rotating, like the way how the store is set up, the rotating feature, like we've been talking about it on Twitter. We even talked about it a little bit the last podcast. The way how it's currently set up is, I mean, for lack of a better word, it's kind of dumb. It's the whole thing is that like people want to look different. Like the Anthem's greatest strength, aside from its gameplay right now, its moment-to-moment gameplay, the combat, the flying, is its incredible customization. And the fact that they basically handicap their own strength by making this mind-boggling decision to have the cosmetics like only change the same couple of days and have it be the same sets as well, it just doesn't make any sense. Like there's even that like discussion that we had on Twitter with like another person who compared it to like the Warframe situation with like their Prime Access and their Prime Vaults. That's not a one-to-one comparison, because the whole thing is that they vault the Prime Warframes and they're not, you can't unlock them for a while, but the whole thing is that people usually farm them like crazy and then you can trade them with other players. So even after they're in the vault, it's still possible to get what you want at any time if you have enough platinum. It does not need to be gated this way. Like, I don't understand why they have made this decision, especially when we saw like the various numbers of cosmetic choices just for Ranger helmets in the customization live stream. We know there's more options out there. Why can we not use them to boot?
Yeah, and we saw like over 30 emotes as they scrolled through them, right? They showed us the emotes. And that's something that's like, well, okay, so if we're going to do it this way, tomorrow, guess what everyone's going to look like tomorrow?
They're all going to have the same emote.
Nothing kills personalization like not being able to make the thing that you want on your own terms.
Well, and I also thought, there was talk of maybe, when you complete an objective on a specific difficulty or those kind of things, give it a form of specific feat, you would get, they had that for the event, where you could get the final, decal.
Right.
In there from doing the giants, which is good. It's great. I hope they have more of that stuff in the future. But there's also the problem that people have data mined the game, right? And you can see there's websites that have every single piece of gear in the game, so you can see all the cosmetics, all everything that's in there that's already there. That
Wait a
is
second.
just time gated.
This happened recently?
It's been up for before the game even came out. So, yeah. So it's out there, and you can see all, it has a list of everything, that's in there, and it's just like, there's all this stuff, and if I have to, I can only get like 2, a week, basically, because it's on a 3-day or 4-day, whatever it is, and it like resets in the middle of the night, our time, which is a weird time, but
it actually resets at 5 o'clock in the morning, our time.
Okay, early in the
Yep.
It's the middle of the night.
Because that's when I play video games, is that early in the morning.
But so it is frustrating. I mean, when you're going in, like when they had that huge customization stream, that was a huge selling point for a lot of people, being able to really customize your Javelin. And it's fine if you can work towards stuff, but right now there's not really. I mean, there's some stuff that you can work towards, for the factions and other things, but those are like long-term goals, like to get your gold in, in the game to be able to customize. You have to do the whole feat of, Champion of Tarsus, which is going to take, a long
But-
time. So
It's going to take a really
Yeah,
long
it
time because
requires
quick play is
rank
bugged,
3 and all.
so you can't even do that anyway. But yeah, I don't know, Devin. Enough talk about that because hopefully, I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, anyway. I'm going to stop beating the horse. So whatever's going to happen tomorrow will decide if I flip my desk over or not. So Devin, will you run us through the announcement of the live service and kind of how they broke that down for us going from February to May?
yeah, so they told us, before launch they were gonna come out with a detailed 90-day basically of what's gonna kind of break down. And I think they had some negative press, and so they kind of just kind of let's put that out there here real quick, get some positive stuff going, which was fine. It was great. I love the information. I was pretty upset with all the negative press, because I don't think people were giving it the proper due that it was supposed to have. But anyways, so I'll start here. In February, we have Outlaw Rage, right? So this is just where there was a lot of outlaws spawning all over the place. We experienced that at the same time as we did There Be Giants. So
was there anything tied to the Outlaw Rage? Because I didn't see if there was like a vinyl or anything tied to that.
No, I didn't see anything that would track it, and so I was like, I was wondering the same thing once the There Be Giants, you track that, but I didn't see anything that tracked the outlaws. Just they were everywhere in free play, basically. So maybe
I must have missed that.
Yeah, maybe this next week it'll be in there. Or whenever it shows up again in March, because it's going to show up again in March. So we should be expecting Shaper Surge. February is over today. I don't know. I haven't seen that. So
I wonder if it goes live tomorrow at the reset.
But tomorrow's March.
Well, I guess it's March for some people right now, so I don't know.
So I don't know if that actually happens. Then we're going into March, right? So it starts the Evolving World. So March is the beginning of their first kind of expansion, right? So first 3-month period where they're going to be having new events and new things to do. So it starts out with the new, how do you say that? Elysian? Right, yep. Stronghold caches, right? So it didn't say when exactly it's going to go live. I'm guessing soon, sometime in March. But those are the cosmetics that you can get by playing Strongholds. There's going to be a challenge for a daily to get a key. Using that key, you can unlock a treasure chest, right? So when you play with 4 people, have those keys, you can only get 1 key a day. So if you plan it out and play with 4 people, you can open up 4 different chests and get a cosmetic item. There's 100 items, and they're going to add to those over time. Whether they held back items from the store for that, it's whatever.
We also don't know if these are going to actually be cosmetic items. I know they mentioned vinyls and they mentioned emotes, but I don't know if they mentioned armor packs. So
yeah. Well, those are cosmetics, right? So.
Well, I think if you put anything from your store into these boxes, like no one's ever going to have to pay money in the store, because I think these are going to be really easy to get. Like,
well, you can only get
only 100.
You can get the 100 and then that's it, and then move on, right? So you're still gonna have stuff that's going to be in the store that's not in those, because they can choose what they want to put in there.
Right, and they mentioned putting Ember in there. I'm sure there's going to be coins that you can get, but like if they just put like main
one of those.
Well,
I have like thousands of Ember.
That's good. You need thousands of Ember to re-roll all those masterworks and legendaries. But if they're gonna put cosmetics in here, I think that's not going to be good, because that means they're either going to raise the prices in the store because these things are so easy to get. But I'm interested to see what they do. I don't want to like say, hey, you're going to mess this up if you put cosmetics in here. Like if they maybe put like 1 armor pack for each javelin in there, I think that would be fine. Like per rotation, however often they rotate these chests. But if they put everything in there, I think that's a bad move.
I don't think there's anything rotating.
If they want to make money,
you'll never get a duplicate. So whatever, it's just going to automatically give you something 1 out of the 100 that you don't have yet.
Right, but once you hit 100, which isn't going to take very long because people are going to min-max this. Once you get 100, I mean, then
Maybe
you're just going to be
coins and Ember.
Right, because then you're going to feel like, wow, do I really need to run, this stronghold again? Because I'm not going to get anything out of it from this cosmetic chest. Because I'm guessing probably in April, they'll probably do a new one with other items in it. I mean, that's all speculation and my thoughts. But if there's only 100 items in here, I think people are going to get through those really, really, really fast. So, sorry, derailed.
Well,
Continue
there's also
on in
going to be
March.
new items. So, what that contains to, if that's weapons or if that's armor packs, any of that kind of stuff, we don't know. It just says new items. They also start the legendary mission phase 1. So they haven't told us. They're going kind of back and forth, choosing which mission they're going to do. The legendary mission is scaled to level 30 players and above. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be good. Hopefully they actually have legendary rewards. I'm really disappointed that legendary missions don't give you legendary rewards, but it's just
Yeah.
why are you calling it legendary if you're not getting legendary? Anyways,
Yeah.
That would make too much sense, Devon.
also change your color scheme, right? Purple is not the same color as your legendary. Just
It's not.
Wait, those missions are legendary missions?
yeah, the purple
those are legendary
contracts are legendary contracts.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Those are epic contracts.
That was my whole thing until you actually read the description and it says legendary contract.
No, there must have been a typo in there. Those are epic contracts because they're purple and things are color coordinated in a looter shooter.
Not according to daily,
You can color coordinate your javelin, but not your missions.
situations. Anyways, we love you, BioWare. Don't get us wrong. We
love you,
we want this
BioWare,
game
but-
to succeed. All right, we've been talking about it for a long time. There's just little helpful hints. The next free play event is called Cortex Locked, so it'll be interesting. Then
It's not called Cortex Lock. That's just saying they don't know what the name is yet.
Oh, that's right. I was like, I thought there was something you didn't know what it was. Don't worry about me.
That's a
I'm
weird
new
name.
here.
Cortex Locked, huh?
Maybe you got to break it open first to get. I don't know.
They take away all the entries from your Cortex. It's really
You
weird.
can't get in, Steven. Ha. All right, so then we're gonna go back to There Be Giants. Everybody's favorite Titans will be back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that one so much.
Yeah. So maybe they'll have some new mechanics. I don't know, but
as we talk about Titans, way back in the day when we saw the first Titan have its crotch open up and it shot
No, it
a
wasn't a
blast
crotch.
beam out of its crotch.
it's chest.
I was like, you know what? Like, if this is the smallest Titan, that's okay. But if they don't change like physically how these things look, it's going to be pretty lame. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like fighting the same Titan over and over again with the same look, it's pretty lame.
Has a different name, but same exact mechanics. Same
Like,
exact look.
Yeah.
Add something to it.
I mean, there
Like,
has to be Frost Titans.
You would think so.
Like, we see like Ash Elementals. Like we see like Ash Elementals. We've seen Frost Elementals. We've seen like Ash Valkyries, Frost Valkyries, Lightning Valkyries. Like there have to be other Titans. Like the just the way how it's all named implies that there are other types of Titans. Where they at?
Yeah, even just color the blast different. Or, instead of making it look like rock, make it look like ice. I don't know. I mean, it gets super boring being like, oh, there's a little one. There's a big one. They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
I know these four are like named and have their own names, like Havoc, but
They don't do
Havoc
anything
just
different.
looks like Jerry from down the road. So I don't really know what to do about that. So sorry, I derailed you again. Sorry, I have opinions.
We have opinions. That's why we have a podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Mike, why don't you take April, since I think that's the last one in April, right?
No. There's still March.
Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
We got Outlaw Rage and then another Cortex Locked event. So I'm looking forward to that.
That one is actually called Cortex Locked.
All right, go ahead, April.
So
His
April,
name's Mike, not April.
April 2019.
Not anymore.
The April 2019, Stronger Together. Steve's a good typist.
Bromger.
Typing like on my phone is really difficult anyway. Like if you ever chat with us in the Discord, like I don't really care if I have typos in there. Like you can get the word from the first and last
we
letter.
have typos.
Kags knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
That's fine. I'm okay with
so
my
in
deficiencies.
April- In April, there will be a mastery system, which is going to expand our progression.
So speculate. What is this? Are we talking like they're going to put the pilot system back into place? Are we going to get Paragon levels? Is this going to be like a prestige something like if
Oh,
you
I
get
hope
this
it's got
many
to be at
kills?
least some kind of, Paragon or Prestige, something. You need to have some reason to keep playing besides just trying to get a legendary that.
But not only some reason to keep playing that, because that's not, for me, that's not what's keeping me back. Because I'm going to play. It's where is all that experience going that I'm gaining from free play, from missions, from contracts. So that I'll just
away is where it's going.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not going to keep me coming back because I'm already going to be coming back. There will be new items,
gives
new
you a bonus
rewards.
to
Sorry, Devon, go ahead.
But I think it just gives you a bonus. Like with Diablo, going up in Paragon levels makes it funner
Right.
because going to Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 right now is like, it's not super difficult. It's unrewarding and it takes a long time.
Well,
And-
Devon, you and I were playing, and we just noticed that the difference between Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3 is more bullets.
Yeah.
More bullets from bad guys.
Yeah.
Coming out, and more bullets from us going into bad guys in order to bring them down.
No new mechanics. No.
Yeah, and that's not the most fun. It might be the easiest way to make something quote unquote harder, but it's not the most fun way. I think you and I were talking different mechanics. Maybe these two enemies work together differently on Grandmaster 1 and 2. Maybe instead of just adding more, like change it up. That's one thing that you and I were talking about. But again, that's a whole lot easier said from our point of view than done. So we know that's challenging, and we're not telling anybody what they should do with the game or not.
I don't mean to like wholly derail you here, but when they did multiplayer in Mass Effect 3 and they introduced the platinum difficulty, because for a while it was bronze, silver, and gold, and basically the whole thing was that the difference is that they were basically just they either had more shields or they had more armor, basically more bullets. When they introduced platinum difficulty, one of the cool things about it, and I might be a little bit wrong on this because it's been several years since I played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, but basically the thing that made platinum interesting was that you now had a different blend of enemies, because usually it was enemy factions, like either the Geth, maybe the Collectors, maybe the Reapers, or maybe it was Cerberus. When you got to platinum, they used a mix of all the enemies. And even that was more interesting than just more bullets. Like, I know it doesn't make any sense canonically to the story, but like in Grandmaster difficulties, like why not have, Frost Dominion brutes working alongside like Ash Elemental Titans and stuff like that? Why not have the various factions working together? Because I mean, like, you're a freelancer, you are a common threat, like that. I feel like that would be more interesting than just making everything take more bullets. Like, have enemies together that normally don't work together, and like having to play against the same mechanics but thrown at you at the same time in a different way.
That definitely is an idea and a way to at least make it different. Because there are times in the world now that you'll come across the Scar and the Dominion going up against each other, being in the same area, and you can actually see them fighting each other. I haven't tracked damage on each other to see if what it does, but they're there. But if they are working together, that is at least something different, something new to work through and to program in your head on how to get through. So I mean, again, these are all things that we say are pretty easy to happen, but we're not exactly sure what that means on the back end of it. So again, just some thoughts.
And again, like I always say, it's not our job to program it. Like, we want something that's fun and something that's engaging, and it's up to them to figure it out to keep their player base around, right?
Right.
Like, if we knew how to program that stuff, we'd just go be game developers, and we'd make bad iOS games that no one ever played. But I mean, it's up to BioWare to give us the fun, to give us an expanded progression system and give us an inscription system that works. I mean, so that's on them. We'll just offer good feedback because I think that's good feedback. Sorry, Mike, keep going. I derailed. JD's derailing. You are no longer the derailer.
There are new items and rewards coming out in April, and then quite a few locked Cortex entries having to do with free play events. Not exactly sure what that means. Could be different than go find the Freelancer, go help the Sentinels. Just different scenarios where we have to work together and to accomplish the thing. So
I think so. This is my feedback for a cool free play event. Spawn a bunch of swarm tyrants in free play and go fight some swarm tyrants with all their abilities. That would be fun. That would be different.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like that's totally something that could happen in the lore of the game. You open a rift, now there's a giant swarm tyrant instead of just a titan that stands still and doesn't move at all. Now you have to go fight a swarm tyrant. That would be a lot of fun. So
maybe there is a swarm tyrant and you just don't go down in the dungeons.
that's possible. Maybe I have not found that cave under the water that we were told about that would lead somewhere, because I definitely have not found that yet.
I don't know if we were told that. There's going to be a Shaper Surge. Those are two tough words to say.
Shaper Surge.
Surge.
Everybody 5 times fast.
Yeah, I still can't say it.
Shaper Surge.
Legendary missions will go phase 2. Not exactly sure what that means.
This means the next
It's like-
mission.
Yeah, this is the phase where everyone loses a hand in all of the missions that they have. So
For those of you who are lost, during phase 2 of the MCU, there was a time where a character in every MCU movie lost a hand.
I think everyone knows that. I don't think anyone was lost on that.
I was.
I'm pretty sure everyone knew that. Okay,
I
go
had
ahead.
I had to go back to
Rusty
my
didn't know what
Cortex.
you were talking about.
My Cortex was locked. A new stronghold called the Sunken will come out
Hey.
in April.
Do you think it's underwater?
Yeah.
That was
I hope
my
it is.
Or do you think you just get there by going underwater? Because you can't fight underwater unless there's a whole stronghold where you just navigate through the water, which doesn't sound
The
very
puzzle stronghold.
Puzzle stronghold.
fun. I mean, that could be okay. I mean, there's a lot of puzzle mechanics in the game during like the critical path stuff that we never
Mhm.
see again. So having a stronghold that has some of that stuff would be okay.
Yeah, I agree. I liked the puzzles. I liked figuring them out. I played
I thought
with
avoiding
some people who just kind of
were a good puzzle.
button mashed and changed stuff, and I was like, "Stop it! I'm trying to figure this out." But anyway, and then during social play, there will be weekly stronghold challenges, leaderboards, and guilds will come out in April. Looking forward to that. Great stuff on the horizon. One would say there might be a Shaper Storm on the horizon.
Could be part of a cataclysm. But
It
There
could
might
be part of the
be.
cataclysm.
just looking at this stuff, do you think, right? So we have a full month ahead of us. If you look at the amount of stuff in April and the amount of stuff in March, like April has pretty much double what's in March. And do you think there's enough stuff in March?
I think that they are allowing people to get through the critical path and level up in March. It's one thing that we fail to do a bunch of times is we like to think that everyone plays at the same rate as us, and that's
I mean,
just
y'all haven't
not
played over 100 hours like me?
right. And that just doesn't happen. People have lives, and they have wives and husbands and SOs that don't let them play as much as you guys do. So I think they're going to let
Yep.
people catch up in March, and they're going to get to play. And once
We all
April
have
hits,
those.
they're going to open up, and they have family and other obligations. JD, sorry. They have cats and dogs that they got to take care of. But I think they're going to allow for March for people to catch up there. And then April, they're going to open up a lot of this stuff. I think the most exciting thing for me is going to be a new stronghold and leaderboards. I really want to see what that's going to be all about so we could start running APLs again. So that's why I think there's so little in March compared to April. But I mean, when I say little, I don't think it's really that little. I mean, this is more content that we would get normally from any other looter shooter this fast. So
Yeah, it's true.
I'm excited for the changes.
One thing that I would really like to see is more people per server when you jump into free play.
Why though? Like, what is? I know a lot of people say that.
Just
but
more people to play with.
just in free play.
Yeah, I think so.
But I
because
mean,
it's a huge map, and depending
Okay.
on where you go, you could never see someone. And so if
Right.
you're doing a world event, Grandmasters 1, 2, and 3, you could use a hand. and just by putting more people in the world, the chances are increased that someone could be there with you. Plus, with more people in the world, you can scale your events. You can spawn 3 or 4 swarm titans and have 8 people go against them. If it's timed right, you could have larger titans and with different mechanics that you need maybe 8 people to do. Maybe you have to collect relics and echoes, and I don't know if 4 people could do that, because that would be enough of a mechanic to make something more difficult than what it is without just adding more bullets. So
I think if you wanted to do that, though, you would have to change how things work currently in free play. Like, in order to encourage someone to a world event, you actually have to tell people that there's a world event going on.
yeah,
And right now, the only way to do that is to get close to one.
Yeah.
And
be in the right region. Because as soon as you get to the region, if there's a world event going on, one will pop up. So yeah, and again, I mean, that would do it. Just law of statistics is that if you have more people in the world, your chances are increased that someone's going to be there. So I mean, and that's all I'm saying. I would like to see more people.
You just play with your friends, and then.
Well, but I have
be
more than
together.
3 friends, Devon. I know you don't, but I want to play with all.
Good burn, Mike.
I understand that. I understand playing with your friends, but it would be fun for our group to find someone else, another group in the world, and play with them that way. Does that make sense? I mean, because there have been times where 6 of us have been on at one time, and we're like, okay, do we want to go 3 here and 3 there, or 4 and 2? So we've had that dilemma.
It's only going to get worse once crossplay finally gets in.
Yeah, and so maybe
on,
this could be a little bit of front loading to try to get ahead of that, to try to understand. Again, this is just one of the things that I would like to see.
Right on. And then in May, we are going to continue into JD. What do we have in May?
In May, we have the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm starts, which very excited for that. We still don't really know what a Cataclysm is. We kind of got a little bit of a preview of it at the end of the public demo, and that was very intriguing. Yeah. And then we got what was it? It's Cortex locked.
You mean we fought another Titan?
Yeah.
Yeah, more Ash Titans. Yeah. But it's Cortex locked, free play event. It's coming. Cortex locked new missions, and then new items and rewards. So not as much coming in May as that's coming in March and April, unless the whole thing is that like May is like, I think they're really banking on the fact that like the stuff that they have in Cataclysm, in their Cataclysm, is really going to like. It kind of feels like kind of like what I think what Mike was saying earlier, that they want to give us time to like play through the crit path and do all this so that we can have like, that's why there's not as much stuff in March, because they want to give us time to like get up to that level, because not everybody plays as much as we do. I think May might be a little bit lighter on the stuff that they have, because the Cataclysm might be the new hurdle for us gamers to get over. Once we get like when the Cataclysm starts, like it's probably going to add some story. If I had to bet, probably going to add a lot of cool stuff that you can do. So whatever's coming in June, probably we're going to find out. June and July, we're probably going to find out at E3, or EA Play, whichever it is. But I'm really excited for the Cataclysm. I don't know about you guys. I hope it's a Shaper Storm.
Well, Shaper Storms are part of Cataclysms, so Cataclysms are just evolved beyond what they intended for Shaper Storms. But I think it's going to be interesting. Mark Dare talked about how you're going to need to play Cataclysms over and over again to be able to get the gear that you need to make it through there. So, are they going to raise the level cap by then, or are they going to put in gear, activity specific gear? I don't know, because by May, if I'm not, I'm max level. I should be max level by April, honestly. So, I don't know.
I think it's really easy for them though to raise the level cap. Like I don't think they're gonna raise like level cap like from 30 or anything. I don't think that really will benefit anything unless they put in their pilot progression system. But right now legendaries drop at what? 47?
Yep,
47.
So really all they have to do is increase that number on your gear, and that's what will increase your level, which is a pretty easy change to do. Instead of getting 47, now the range is 47 to 60. And you will incrementally get upgrades in that gear, so that'll prolong the gear chase.
Which
will
really
be easy to do.
Because Epic's 33, right? And then it goes to Masterworks
goes to 45.
And then
Yep,
47.
so that's a 9-point
like
increase, right?
Super small increase.
Super.
And it's really weird.
For what reason? I mean, that's, yeah.
I thought it was more interesting that they're not just going, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. They're just doing complete jumps to this next rarity, which doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, and it's possible that it's just a bug that they were supposed to drop. Some weapons were supposed to be 46 or some weapons were supposed to be 48, but they ended up not dropping that way, because at least if you're doing that, you're like, okay, this one's a 48, this one's a 49. Then you kind of have to battle between, well, this one has good perks, this one doesn't. Right now, it's just, nope, equip it. It doesn't matter what build I'm trying to run. This masterwork is 47. It's going to put me over the top. So I think they.
Well, but Steven, I think the point there, at this point, when you're trying to get up to that level, and I think we've experienced this with the looter shooters that we have played, it really doesn't matter what you're using to get your loot. It's when you get to the point where all your drops are at that level. And so far, we haven't experienced where we get all of our drops at this level, but all of your masterworks are dropping at 45. All of your legendaries are dropping at 47. Once you build that bank of legendaries, then you can build the build that you want to run. If that makes any sense, we've experienced that before. It is a long chase, but that's why we do it, right? Yeah. To chase something.
Right. So it just seems odd to me that they made jumps in that long chase. Like there were numbers that we could have been collecting that we
it would frustrate. Yeah, it would frustrate the crud out of me if I got an epic from, what did they commons ended at 30 and epics end at 36. So if I were to get a 31 weapon and a 32 weapon and a 33 weapon, and then all of my component pieces have differing levels, in between 31 to 36 and everything, that would drive me crazy. I don't know why we got the
I don't know why that would drive you crazy. I mean, you're doing something similar. You just add in the other possibilities in between. So
I know it's just faster, but it's still not fast enough, if that makes sense. Like it's not I'm going from common to masterworks in a day, but there are just better, for me, better thought out chunks, and I really appreciate that about Anthem, that it's not, here's two components that are at 32, here's a component that's at 31, because for me it always ended up that I had one piece of gear holding me back that I could never get the drop for.
Yeah, but now you're at, we're at how many days in? How many days did we count over here? We're at 13 days in, and you're at the point where, okay, now it's just legendaries, and then I increase. And it's going to be that way until...
Well, no, because remember, we have 3 other javelins to play.
And that's true. And that's if you enjoy playing other javelins. Really, there's only 2 other javelins for me to play. But so I think
I'm pretty sure that we ought to play all 4, because I have this working theory that we can talk about later. But I think all 4 need to be played.
Did you guys know that we are actually a sponsored podcast? I mean, pretty much any podcast is sponsored nowadays, but we're actually sponsored by Audible.com. So if any of you have Audible, you know how awesome the service is. I've been using Audible for several years now. I have over like 140 audiobooks that I listen to while I work, and I drive a lot, so it helps me stay sane. So if you go to audibletrial.com/freelancercodex, you can actually sign up for a free trial, which will give you a free credit to spend on one of over 180,000 audiobooks that they have to choose from. It can be from fantasy, self-help, accounting, how-to books. I mean, they just have a huge range of books on here that you can listen to. I actually do mostly fantasy books, but I actually got a self-help book. It's a parenting book called The Journey of the Heroic Parent. And this was actually not requested. What's the word I'm looking for? Recommended on another podcast that I listened to. And it's about, how to be a better parent, how to help kids that are struggling, and how to help yourself before you can help children. So I gave it a listen, and it's a really good book. It provides a lot of good advice. And the author of this is a doctor. It's by Brad M. Reedy, PhD. So if you have kids, or you don't even have to have kids, it's if you have family members, or if you just want to improve yourself, I recommend this book, even if you're not a parent. So it's called The Journey of the Heroic Parent. And you get that for free at audible.com. And even if you cancel, you get to keep this book for forever. So I highly recommend it. Again, that's audibletrial.com/freelancer codex.
We will put the link in the description.
We will do that. All right, I can definitely do that. All right, we got 2 patches today. Let's go through these really quick. So there was a loot patch that dropped, and this is from the official, I forget, I think Jesse put this one out. He says, "Hey, freelancers, here's the update that you were all waiting on." Were you guys waiting on this? I was waiting on this. The following changes are now live. Items will no longer have inscriptions on them that are not appropriate for the specific item. And we can all clap here. If this wasn't like an audio podcast and clapping was really loud, we'd all be clapping and cheering. Note, this only applies to items obtained after the patch. And then I got sad. It's like, now I have to go regrind for all these items, which isn't a big deal. It gives you a reason to go back out and find Masterworks again. But you're going to have to find all those Masterworks, but hopefully they will be a lot better than they were before. So that's exciting. And then let's see, items obtained prior to the hotfix will still have the same inscriptions they had before. All right, then masterwork crafting costs have been reduced from 25. True. Okay.
I can tell you that from personal experience from tonight. It actually broke some of my inscriptions.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. So a couple of mine, even the orange text, like they have before, where they, what's that one, the gunslinger one, JD, that you got today?
The Gunslinger's Mark. Yeah.
So that one's purposely zeroed out because they're working on that one, right? But I got one today for one of my interceptor, and it had before that it had 20%. It boosts your shield by 20% when you do a specific whatever it is. And so I got another one after they did the patch. And the old one that I already had equipped was broken and back down to 0%, and the new one had 20%. So, it jacked up my old gear items. So you might want to check that out when you're playing. If any of your older stuff is broken, you probably want to replace that sooner than later.
Very cool. And then, so Masterwork cost has been reduced from 25 embers to only 15 embers. I actually haven't even crafted anything in Masterwork yet. I'm kind of saving up until I have a full loadout. And I'm glad I did, because those things, if we crafted them before today, would have been useless. So, or it would have been pretty frustrating.
What are you trying to say? Huh?
I'm not trying to say anything, but all right. And then there was another fix. So before that, I know Ben Irving had gone onto Twitter and said that they were going to get rid of whites and greens dropping after level 30. That hasn't been fixed, apparently. That's still happening. So they're going to try to fix that in the next patch. So the other fix they had was the tethering timer for missions has been increased. Players should now have more time to catch up to their squad before seeing a countdown timer. I haven't tried this yet, because this went live before I had a chance to get on. I don't know if you guys have tried this. Is this improved? Is this better? Does it need to change more?
It has improved.
I mean, I was playing before we started recording, and I didn't really notice much of a change. Like maybe it was just the mission that I was on, because it didn't seem like the full timer either. Like instead of like 20 something seconds, it said I had like 10. So
yeah,
I don't know.
They have varying ones. So they have the 30 seconds, and they have the like 8 seconds or 10 seconds. But so I noticed that I played the 3 legendary contracts after the patch went live, after very frustrating stuff. But so the patch went live, I was able to finally be able to get in and play, and I was like, oh, okay, they're really far away, because I had to jump up real quick and go get after my children. So I came back and my character was still standing in the same place. I was like, wow, I didn't get teleported, and I was gone for like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and they were still just cruising away. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so it worked pretty good, and then I hung out on the next one. I was like, well, I'll go look down in the water and see if there's anything down there. Because before, if I would go down to the water, I'd maybe get halfway through, and then it would teleport me over to the next part of the objective, and it didn't teleport me at all. And I was like, okay. At least for me, in the contracts, it definitely is improved.
Cool. And then they also fixed the Swarm Tyrant encounter in the Tyrant Mine Stronghold. Let's see. Hold on. The Swarm Tyrant encounter in the Tyrant Mine Stronghold can no longer be reset by the entire squad exiting to the main menu and rejoining the session in progress. So this is something that I didn't read about or didn't hear about.
Yeah,
it sounds like people were using this exploit to open chests.
Mm-hmm.
Players are no longer able to reopen chests that have already been looted in strongholds. So, and this is one of those things that they're going to find is players figure out ways to exploit things, and they're going to fix them, and we're going to move on, and players are going to find a different way, and then they'll fix those in the future. So,
there's also another exploit on the Tyrant Mine. As it drops loot at the very end, if you get the loot that it drops before it disappears, you get double the loot.
No.
Just,
no.
Yes.
Seriously?
So one of our Discord members, Phaedron, told me this yesterday when we played, and I was like, what? So we tried it, and it worked. So if you're right next to the Tyrant Mine when it drops the loot, and you can grab it before it disappears, you get double the loot.
So this must be like an interceptor.
How does it?
Thing?
Does it give you?
It gives it to you at the end, and then because it just disappears, so it automatically gives it to you. But if you grab it before it disappears, you've grabbed it, and it also still gives it to you.
You grab it, huh? Interesting. Well, we'll have to try that later. So
they'll have that fixed soon after they listen to the podcast.
Yep, these things have been fixed. So
nobody else
Devon.
to us.
It's thousands of people.
All right, Devon, you want to talk about Vault Space because we are nearing the end here because we've been talking for a long time and we've got other stuff to do. So
yeah, so we talked about Vault Space before, but I want to talk about Vault Space now because it is limited and because everything is more specific. You can't have generalized gear like it once was before. Like so, before when it was random crap, there you could use them for multiple builds because they had things from multiple builds, had inscriptions from multiple builds. But now when it's more focused, you're going to have more focused items. So if you want a melee build, you need more melee focused items, right? If you want an acid build or an ice build, all have to have more specific items. And so all of that's going to take up space, which requires you to hold on to more gear pieces, right? So as I talked about in the beginning, when we were first talking about our builds, I had stuff built out for all 4 javelins. They were all over 400. Just from playing mainly on my interceptor, getting gear, I was able to level up all my other javelins over 400. Because I could also add, the masterwork weapons and stuff like that into it to help it. But anyway, so when I had that, all of my stuff my vault was always over 200. And so I was always having to delete everything all the time. And I only had one build for each of the javelins, and I had 3 builds for my interceptor when I had specific stuff there. So if you play more than one javelin and you want to have multiple builds, which they want you to have specific builds, the amount of vault space is not sufficient to contain all of that that you need, right? So even right now, after I deleted everything from the Ranger, the Colossus, and the Storm, and I kept all my masterwork weapons, only 1 copy of each. I deleted all my duplicates that had different stats on them because I had a lot. So it brought me down to 78 pieces in my vault. So, and that's just for 1 build and all the masterwork and legendary weapons that I have. So
we're going to need a bigger boat.
We're going to need a bigger boat. And I know you can increase it by 50 when you complete... what is it? Legionnaire challenge or whatever. Is that what gives you the additional 50? One of the challenges gives you an additional 50 slots for your vault, but that's still not going to be enough if you're going to play more than one javelin and have specific builds, because they made the choice to force you to have specific builds instead of giving you more drops all the time with random inscriptions. They've decided, the crappy level of drops we get now with more specific inscriptions.
And that's not to mention when they release new javelins in the future.
Yeah, new javelins, new gear, whether that's more weapons and those kinds of things, that's going to require more vault space because people want to hold on to all of their items. It's like, I have a level 40 and a level 41 masterwork gun, but I haven't replaced them yet because I haven't gotten another version of that gun yet. So I'm still holding on to those versions of the guns that are useless and a waste of time to me right now, but I don't want to get rid of it because I don't have another version of that weapon, right? So, I have crafted quite a few masterwork items, which is cool, and it was fun to do. It costs a lot, but there's just not enough space in the vault, for having to make specific items. So you have to have specific gear to do the build that you want to do, and there's just not going to be enough if you're going to play more than one javelin.
Yeah. And I think with the new changes that they're going to be doing with the inscription system, Ben said that instead of just having 4 random rolls like Devon, you were talking about, there's going to be a primary 1 and like a primary 2.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a secondary 1 and a secondary 2. And those inscriptions are going to have their own separate loot pools. I mean, this is what Diablo does. Diablo makes it so like if you're going to get a damage roll, it's always going to be here. You're never going to get, a damage roll in these other slots. So there'll be a secondary inscription for it, and then there could be some other random one. So I'm guessing that in the future they're probably going to introduce some sort of reroll system, whether it's one stat, but I would think they would have to, especially if if you almost are so close to getting that perfect roll. Say you get perfect rolls in those 3 stats and you get this one stat that doesn't really do anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of hurts to have to like get rid of that piece because you didn't get 4 perfect rolls. So I'm guessing somewhere down the line in the future, we're going to have that ability to do, because I think that's a quality of life improvement that a lot of people are going to appreciate, especially like you said, as we continue in the life of the game, there's going to be more items and you're not really going to want to, struggle that hard to get the perfect roll when there's all these other items you want to be completing. So
yeah,
I am very interested in to see that. All right. And then I think JD, do you want to quickly touch on story stuff, or do you want to save it for next week? Because I know we've gone pretty long.
I think it'd be better if we save it for next week, because I would like to really like dig in and talk about it, and I think that would take too long tonight.
Okay, so let's give everyone else listening and hold another week to finish the critical path, and I think we'll do kind of like a spoiler cast next week, and we'll go through the critical path. We'll go through mission by mission and kind of talk about it and break it down that way.
And I'm not going to be able to remember that stuff by then.
You can go start a new javelin, or you can jump into quick play and you can play
myself
all those
in the pants
missions again.
too, but you don't see me doing that. But
raise your hand real high, as high as you can, Devon. So one other thing that happened, there was a change when they were doing an update that drop rates got increased for 11 hours. I was actually not playing the game during this time, so I didn't get to benefit from this. But there are so many clickbaity articles that came out, like PlayStation, I think it was like PlayStation Lifestyle came out and was like, BioWare reveals it intentionally lowered drop rates in Anthem, which, really, it's not incorrect to say that, because Ben even said, hey, we intentionally changed this back to what it was. So they intentionally changed the drop rates, but man, it's so clickbaity. And this is one of those things that anytime like something happens with BioWare, I just like cringe, and I'm like, you know what? I can already read or write the headlines that people are going to have, and it just kind of makes you cringe. Like, yep, I can see this a mile away. And if tomorrow, if there's no new cosmetics, I'm going to write my own clickbaity headline if there's no new cosmetics tomorrow. So I think, freelancers, this is going to be the end of episode 75 of the longest running Anthem podcast on the internet. Do you guys have any shout outs you want to say before we end this thing, or should we just jump? We'll probably go run some strongholds and we'll stay on and stream for a little bit, but if there's nothing else,
single stronghold. Just give a shout out to our Discord community.
I mean,
we appreciate you guys and gals.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun in there. We got a lot of great people in our community, so we appreciate you.
JD, you had something you wanted to say before we end this?
Devon took the words right out of my mouth. Shout out to Discord, because
Devon, keep your hands out of
Discord is
JD's
great.
mouth.
It's
All right. Until next time, freelancers.
Discord is great. Yeah.
Mike, do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Okay, good. Until next time, freelancers. There's a shaper storm on the horizon. We'll see you on the other side.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter at Freelancer Codex, on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or through email at freelancercodex@gmail.com. Join the Discord through the link provided at freelancercodex.com. Our show will always be free. If you'd like to send some support, you may do so at patreon.com/freelancercodex. Our individual Twitter handles are at Stephen Lamson, at mlamson25, at Neverfear, and at JD the Joker. Freelancers, it's time to get to work.
Freelancer, time to get to work.
All right, and we stop that. To manually turn up the fans on my graphics card. Max that bad boy out. I'll be right back. You guys have to talk to chat. You can't just leave them hanging.
Can't just leave them hanging.
Hey, chat.
What are they looking at?
Gonna spend some.
I'm already in game.
Man, I can't even say like one-on-one, man. There's like 4 of us and like I don't know how many of them, but hey, chat. Yeah, yo,
look
chat.
and see how many weapons I
you're,
have. I'm going to tell you specifically how many weapons I have.
Well, I just want to take a moment to tell chat that their new haircut looks amazing. And congrats on the promotion. You guys are doing great. You deserve every bit of success that comes to you. You're all great people. I wish you all many children. I don't have the stream open, so I have no idea what anybody is saying in chat. But
I have 22 weapons. Two duplicates that I got tonight. 20 weapons. Craft of Truth of Tarsus. Horrible. I really don't like the negative inscriptions.
Negative inscriptions?
Where it's like weapon negative 20% reload time.
Oh, that's good.
Is it good or is it bad?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's good
because
because you have less time reloading.
is it?
Yes.
Sometimes it seems like it takes longer. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, is this actually negative or? I don't know.
Sounds positive to me.
That's what I originally thought, but a couple times I've experienced it where it feels like it's a lot slower. So maybe not. I don't know.
I think you're on crack.
Could be.
All right, transition over.
That is effective set off a chain combo. Not very good.
Will it set off an ultra combo?
Nope, just a chain.
Let's see. I wonder if Phaedron's
Like
still
my
there.
other
Phaedron.
one. Just come in here and join us.
Oh, weird. Who's joining us?
I don't know. Whoever. Who's sitting out?
I don't know.
Anyways?
I'm trying to get my stream set up here, so. Capture specific window.
I already have 3.
Already has 3 kids?
Oh yeah. I told chat that they were doing an absolutely great job, and that I wish them all many children. So normal stuff.
I don't know.
So I got a new glorious result. It's a Masterwork heavy pistol after the patch. So when it's orange text, Gunslinger's Fury, hitting 2 enemy weak points quickly, increases all weapon damage by 150% for 5 seconds. Also on that weapon, one of the inscriptions gives me plus 150% damage. So I'd get an additional, if I'm hitting the crit points, 300% damage. Okay. But I'm not using it because it's not legendary. And I'm not...
Mike, send me an invite.
Steven, have you got the Avenging Herald yet?
You shut up.
I'm just asking. Maybe I'll go with all Masterworks. Yeah.
Let's see here. Is Mike even there? Did Mike just disappear?
He's sending us invites.
All right, I'm gonna hop on Discord on my phone, and I don't know, be playing. Yeah, I am going to play some Anthem over here on Xbox. So if anybody in chat is on Xbox and wants to play with me, you guys know how to find.
All right.
Oh, right, indeed. I'm gonna hit me
Come
up
at
with
me,
some
chat bros.
descriptions here. Do. Eventually, I'm gonna have to learn the names of all these abilities and stuff. But it is not this day.
Day is not the day. Did you see that some guys played like 120 something hours, and he has a decal vinyl with the red skull on it?
I think you get that from I think it's completing one of the Legion challenges.
Completing the full thing.
Yeah, I think that's where you get that one from. Just waiting on you now, Devon.
Oh.
Like
Already
always.
up. I'm not using any consumables.
I am.
This is only Grandmaster 1.
That's it? Grandmaster 1's hard. All right, who goes down first? So I'll take our bets here.
Steven.
Is Mike even there? Mike, are you there on comms?
He's like, I switched out my audio, and so now I can't talk to you. So
He's probably talking to us.
Rusty would like the link to the book you recommended last time, the sci-fi book.
Okay.
For the epic fantasy one from last week.
Epic fantasy one from last week. I didn't do one last week.
Maybe it was mine? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give the links. Oh, we're doing this one. I thought we were doing Tyrant Mine.
Yeah, Mike should have done Tyrant Mine because that's a daily. But whatever. I already did that one too, so I don't care. Oh, he leaves. He's like, screw you guys, I'll back out then. And that's why we don't use consumables.
Okay, and there goes all my consumables.
We would have played it, Mike. All right.
I don't even know if Mike is there. At this point, I just think
You
Mike
hear him
is
choking in the background? Is that Mike choking?
Hope not. That would be bad. Should we go to the launch bay? No, let's not go to the launch bay. It takes forever to load into the launch bay.
What is that? Is that Mike?
It must be. I don't know if he's sneezing.
Why do?
Oh, it's JD.
Hello? I'm here.
Oh.
Not sorry.
It's even worse talking to JD on his phone.
JD, it was nice talking to you today. We'll catch you later. Thanks for hanging out with us on the show today. Really appreciate it.
Do I sound terrible or something?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh. Well then.
No. But we'll catch you later. Have fun. Enjoy work tomorrow.
Yes. They'll all enjoy the
All right.
work.
Bye.
Have fun, JD.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now we're just waiting on Steven to ready up.
I got to get my consumables. It could be nice if you could have multiple microphones set up and plugged in and it just worked good, but computers don't like that. You have to get a mixing board, Mike. If you get a mixer, that'll probably work. Just a normal day, Bastion.
Who's got freeze? Anybody got freeze? Somebody does.
That's me. Wow, you just melted that thing.
Yep.
Where's the next one you want frozen?
Back here?
That one? These bad guys. Oh, that was fast. Most impressive. There were enemies here, right?
Where at one point?
Whoa, I actually got shot and I didn't. Oh, now I'm gonna die. I was all impressed that I didn't get like one shot.
I didn't get one shot.
Yeah, now I'm dead. So, you know.
Hey, I was right.
About?
You said who's going to go down first, and I said Steven.
Yeah. Yep. Pick the storm. Just safe. Probably the safest bet you took all day. Okay.
Hey, I got a legendary. Just kidding. It's a green. It's always get.
That's close to being a legendary.
It's close, you know, because they got colors that are so close together. I hope I
Those
get a
yellows sure
legendary.
don't look yellow either. Every time you pick up one, you're like, that could be green. It could also be like fuchsia. Probably not fuchsia.
Guy just shot me through a rock.
Did you deserve it?
Well, of course, he's killed all of his friends.
Then I would say you would deserve it. Do.
I was like, oh, is that a legendary? Nope. It's a white.
You got to have the white so you can appreciate that moment when you get a legendary.
I can appreciate the legendary plenty enough without the whites and greens.
I don't think so.
I'd be happy for
You
them to
gotta-
not include blues also.
Well, I mean, you get so much stuff playing free play that, yeah, you probably don't need whites, green, and blues happening here.
Yeah, I think they should have, better loot tables. I'm not saying they need to have specific gear for strongholds, which, I mean, it's fine if they do, but they should also just in general have a better loot table in strongholds. As well as when you go up in Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3, like, it should limit what can drop. Because it's, and nothing worse than like playing Grandmaster 2 and you're spent, a half hour working on something and the chest pops open and you get 2 whites, a blue, a green, and a purple. Like, what kind of garbage is this?
But what's the solution, though? I guess we just drop Masterworks every time.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is to get better loot, to get the loot you want, to be able to craft the loot you want. But in order to do that, you need better drops on a regular basis.
Right, but I mean, if you drop Masterworks all the time, then how quickly do you burn through that loop?
Yeah, that is a tough question. It's like,
hey, there's a white. That's good.
oh, I apparently had one of those. I forgot all about it. Going red, it's gonna disappear. Oh, disappeared.
Oh, you were hanging on to a whatchamacallit?
Yeah, an echo. Totally forgot about it.
Happens.
Oh, it's the one thing I don't like about when I go into my ultimate. It like jacks up the camera, and all the time, like the camera goes through the world or slams it right up into some kind of geometry, and then moves it back behind the interceptor.
Makes it so it's awful to see.
Like, well, why did that just happen? There we go.
Get out of
We
here,
got the last
Hunter.
one.
Hunters just do not want to stay frozen. We did it. We did it.
Could be.
I guess they could, couldn't they? I will just long range snipe this thing until you get there. Or till Mike gets there. Oh, one of them's already dead. Oh, two of them are already dead. You guys are fast. At least for the storm, I would like for when you equip a different gear piece to like have the arm look like it's firing a different element. Well, maybe it is when it's all charged up. Maybe I just need to have a better graphics card to actually be able to see that effect. Maybe it's been doing it this whole time. Oh, I'm gonna die. I will run.
Run.
I'll go hang out by Andy over here. What are you doing, Andy? People are wondering why Mike's not talking.
Oh, because
Mike has turned off his.
No, he likes. I don't know what he likes. Does he have a different headset that he uses? Or
Yeah, he uses a different headset to record and a different headset to play. Because when he plays, it's super sensitive. And he doesn't like people hearing his heartbeat. Let's clear these guys. The ultimate.
I'm glad they changed it where you have to kill everybody. I wish they would do that on every phase. Because the more people we kill, the more opportunities for loot we get. But most people just want to blow through the next phase where you don't have to kill everybody.
I know the last time I've been killing the spiders. Now that you said that, and I'm like, no, I'm probably not going to get gear off of these spiders. I've gotten masterworks off of those spiders.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, kill the spiders. But you're right, people just blow through it. And I'm like, all right, I'll try and kill it before you make it to the next phase.
All right.
All right, here we go. First treasure chest.
Open for legendary.
Let's glitch this thing here. Everyone, open it, then exit out as soon as you can.
I got a masterwork, 2 blues and 2 purples.
Lots of purples for me. Sweet. Love them purples.
Traded all for 1 legendary.
A kingdom for a legendary. Not me. I love the purples. They're my favorite.
When they don't give me legendaries, I gotta kill the grabbits. It's my way of getting back at them.
It has to be done.
Disrespect me, I disrespect you. I kill the grabbits, maybe you give me some good loot.
Darren was talking about the using luck and how luck stacks.
Uh-huh.
Because eventually there's diminishing returns if you stack too much of it.
The most I think I've ever had was like 98 or 99% luck. But I don't know why it would have diminishing returns. That just seems counterintuitive, like you just keep adding more luck, so it should drop better gear all the time.
Yeah, but then again, you get to that same dilemma. If everyone has gear that just stacks, plus 10,000% luck, then
But
you just
I still don't
get
know if
legendaries all the time.
if our stuff only affects us, right? Doesn't help anybody else that's playing. Even our consumables, because they never have said whether consumables actually help your team or not.
We just have to do all the science to figure it out. And who's got time to do science?
They could just tell us.
I guess that's true, but where's the fun in that?
I mean, it's just like all the descriptions, It's like, why don't you guys just tell us?
Tell us what blast, physical,
what do all these
impact
things mean? Just have to guess. Just gonna stand up here while you guys do all the work.
Okay.
Kidding. I'm in the south tunnel.
I'm in some tunnel. I'm going to get 3 of these in before you guys get back.
I've already just put my first one in.
I'm putting my second one in.
I like it. You must have the short tunnel.
Eh. Who needs help? Where's the last one? Let's farm some gear here.
Like this whole section here, just really annoying. That I can't kill all these enemies.
Just run away.
And then they'll disappear.
I think the way they have their proc system that shows everything that's active at that time, I think it's a little too intrusive.
What do you mean on the side?
Especially, yeah.
You can turn that off.
What?
In the display, you can turn it off.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Settings.
I decided last night to play a mission without anything on the HUD. That was a mistake.
Display settings. You guys keep me alive, okay? I don't have that setting. What's that setting called?
It's under the HUD.
Okay, hold on.
Display.
Head itches. Let's see. Gameplay interface. HUD. Breath indicator. Compass. Toolbar. Gear. HUD warnings. Turn that off. Overheat visibility. Turn that off. Weapon widget visibility. Ultimate indicator. Exploration reticle. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, sure enough, you can turn it all off on the switch of a button. As long as I can see these damage numbers, that's it. That's all I care about. I mean, they could easily make a horde mode just right here in this area.
Yeah, I mean, they could have horde modes all over, and and you could progress to different parts of the world.
It would not be very hard. Hey, there's a masterwork down there for me. That's nice.
Welcome.
Are you just saying that because Mike couldn't? Or are you saying it for him?
He smiled. He got a smile out of it.
How can you even tell?
I can just tell.
Hey, there's a legendary in this box.
There?
Yeah, if you fire all your abilities at it, shoot it 20 times with your pistol, and then pop your support near it.
Did that other person just like bounce? He's like, yeah, whatever.
No, he's still there. All right, here we go. Ooh, greens and whites.
2 greens, masterwork, and 2 purples.
This is the best. Let me take a picture of this. Send it to Ben Irving.
Like, oh, you're so amazing.
You lying bastard.
Like I told you it didn't go in there.
You lied to us. Mike's probably sitting on like 3 legendaries and he can't tell us about them.
Like, I'm not going to tell you.
I'll at least get 1 masterwork, I guess.
Well, if you're quick, you might get 2.
Well, if we just got to coordinate before we kill the thing. Let's make sure we're all on top of it.
You just got to watch its health. Like, all right, it's almost down. I got to get real close.
Not me. I just hover all the time, so I just got to hover right above it.
Drop right through it.
Drop it like it's hot? I'm surprised you didn't notice before, since you're like always so up close.
Well, because I guess I was probably getting the extra loot and just never paid attention. Because I can guarantee you there's a bunch of times where I was like, oh wow, I guess I got more masterworks than I thought.
Just don't kill it too fast. Want to see behind you.
What? Stupid spider webs.
There we go. Now we're getting them crits. It's gonna run.
Nope.
Shoot her. It wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
Might have been me. Ultra combo. Anthem topped the charts in UK physical sales.
Nice.
Number 1.
I only know of one person in the UK that bought the game physical, and he got that as a gift.
Did you give it to him?
Nope.
Okay, 2 bars. We're getting close. 1 bar.
Run away.
Stop shooting it, or
Keep shooting it. If it dies on there, it'll drop the loot right on us. Oh,
I can't aim up that high. Where's the rest of the enemies? They're spawned over here on a different side. Or are they just spawning everywhere now?
Yeah, it's on the last bar. They spawn everywhere. Did I hear Mike again? Go, "Arr!"
Barking? I
Sounded
don't
like
think Mike was barking. Oh, here it is. It's gonna try to kill me. Got him. Its legs were in the way. Oh, I think I got him.
Andy did not.
I did. I got him. And I died somehow. Let's see if it gives me double. I should have 3 then total.
He says 78,000 physical PS4 units sold in Japan, which was top, I believe.
75,000?
78,000.
That's not very many.
Well, you know. Rusty can only buy so many copies. Right?
That's true. Way to do your part. I only got 2.
Total? Maybe they fixed it.
Maybe.
It worked just
Venomous
fine last
Blaze.
night.
What's Venomous Blaze?
For, probably for Interceptor.
Well, it says upgraded flame burst, fire explosion hits target location, acid damage is applied to enemies after 3 consecutive hits. Acid damage, huh? On a storm?
Got 4.
Hey, I got the same weapon that I got before. Armor max, physical 50% damage, weapon size, ammo drop rate. It's not great. You got 4 masterworks?
Yep.
Whatever.
That's right. They're all repeats.
Well, it's because you have them all.
That is part of the problem. I got 24 items.
All right, I ended the stream on my side.
I still got it going. We're playing another one, or is that it?
We can do another one. I'm down for another one. It was fast.
I'm just deleting stuff.
I am ready. I'm going to start putting a show together. Screenshot saved. Didn't see no screenshot.
Mike's ready. You're not ready.
It says I'm not ready?
He must have changed it. We're doing
Tyrant
the Tyrant Mine
Mine.
again, Mike? We're doing something.
Check test 1, 2.
Hey, there's Mike.
Hey, very cool.
I'm fine with the Tyrant Mine. I mean, it's fastest. Like the other ones aren't particularly fun. That's just how I feel.
I don't mind the Scar one.
I got 6 legendaries from that.
Nice.
That's a lot of legendaries. Congratulations.
They're all weapons.
Oh, you're lying? I didn't know if you were lying there. Huh. Thought you were serious.
I got 14 purples, 17 greens, 2 whites.
Has it started yet?
Nope.
Not yet.
Still
Taking
loading.
so long.
Someone's getting kicked. Here we are.
Just a normal day in Bastion. It's gone volatile. Hey, it's frozen. Why is it still shooting?
You keep doing that often to me.
Here's what?
When I freeze the turrets, they keep moving and shooting. And they shouldn't.
So I guess being stuck in webs is not a status effect.
It should say things like status effect, single, looking, in a relationship.
You'd update my status, man.
Looking at the Momo challenge. Status effect.
I'm still streaming on YouTube, by the
Well, I didn't say anything offensive.
way.
Not yet, anyway. Don't tase me, bro.
This marksman rifle I have also gives bonus damage for hovering. Hey, another green. Good.
Good job, Devon. Good job
I
on
was
the
so
English.
upset my English stopped working.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I'd love to find that pistol. Someday I'll find that pistol.
I keep getting it in the Masterwork version.
Yeah, I'll even take that. I don't need no legendary version of it.
Oh, that didn't go where I wanted it to.
You're halfway there. Whoa. Living on a prayer. I think the one thing that Blizzard or at least the Hearthstone team did right is like they're really careful about their announcements. Because like if you announce something that, hey, we're gonna fix this bug that in Grandmaster you're gonna stop getting whites, greens, and blues.
You don't do that until you got it in there.
Yeah. And that doesn't happen the day that you say it is supposed to happen. Like it's unfortunate. Like I'm sure they thought that maybe that it was gonna work, but it didn't. So it's like, oh. It's like the same thing with the inscriptions. Hey, we're going to fix these, but all inscriptions that you have currently aren't going to be fixed.
None of it's going to be retroactive, which, yeah, is kind of bummer. But
yeah, I'm dead. Thank you. Right.
I swear, like, since the patch, like, it's gotten worse for the whites and greens.
It's possible.
What do I know? I've only played, like, 3 weeks worth of time. 40-hour job. But
whatever. 40-hour job.
Who only works 40 hours? Don't they want to get paid more money?
Some days I'm like, man, 40 hours sure sounds nice.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll freeze that turret for you, Mike. Because I'm nice like that. Is that all the turrets?
I'm finishing off this last one right here.
There's one more.
Oh, you want to punch me, huh?
It's a common feeling people have when they're around you. I still haven't figured out the armor bug, huh? Sometimes I'll log in and I'll have like 100 health bars, which is kind of nice. Like, I'm not going to complain when that happens. I wish it would happen more often. There was also a bug where the Colossus could get some interceptor inscriptions equipped.
Nice.
So it was doing a dashing strike. Oh, dang, I got 3 masterworks out of this chest.
Nice. I got 3 purples and 2 blues.
I'll take it. I'm not going to complain.
I was just doing my impression of a Colossus. Running through the mines.
Are you shooting the grabbits? Oh, you're just going to straight up melee the grabbits.
I could grab it.
No, that one is running. It is scared of you.
Sacrifice you. Loot god.
Chronosil. How do you pronounce that name there, Mike? Chronosil? Chronosil? Chronosily?
Chronosil. Sounds about right.
You think they create completely new abilities in the future?
I hope so.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Slow down on this part, people.
Saying we hold on to one?
Do what?
What do you think would happen if we just don't collect the things and just kill all the enemies in here? Think they just keep spawning?
I don't know if they'd keep. Well, there's Scar mines, so they'd keep going until those get destroyed, I think.
I'm not going to collect one then. I want to see how long it goes. Wondering why I was getting so cold. Forgot I turned my heater off so we can record. It's cold in here. Where are the Scar at?
We have to turn in so many before they appear.
Oh, there they go. So half of them.
Half of them show up, and then when you put in, I think 4,
They disappear?
the more difficult ones show up.
Let's clear out these
So
guys.
I really hate like when you have to pick up an item, it also swaps your weapon.
Does it really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
really
Huh.
annoying.
So it'd be nice if you could turn in all like the uncommon and common embers for like upgrade them.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 forces over here all together, real close.
Yeah. I use my ultimate, so Chrono Seal is like, why are these guys not collecting?
Woo! I can come back to life after I die, but I also lost my relic piece.
How did you come back to life?
Because when I kill somebody, it gives me power or health back, and it instantly restores it. So it happens regularly.
Huh.
Like the fragment moved is back in the place now. Hopefully.
Hopefully we didn't just bug it and mess up the whole thing. Got a lot of purples.
I think we broke it. It's broken. It won't let me fly, but the piece isn't on me anymore. I also can't turn a piece in.
We'll let you leave and come back.
Did it end your expedition or just mine?
No, and put the piece back over here.
Need an invite.
Here, I'll hold on to it before we turn this on, Mike, if you'll send him one.
It already put someone else in.
Nice.
Seriously, it did it that fast?
It put someone else in.
Alright, well that's the end of my night.
Should we just wait to see if they leave? I can't believe they put it in that fast.
Well, I'll just report it as bug.
So why did it bug? So you had the